cage, your back. Get our breathing going. Music theory is useful, especially like when you do an audition. If you get callbacks, sometimes they'll just give you a piece of music and say, go learn this, and then come back in 20 minutes.
Seriously?
Yes. And so sometimes it's like, who can play the piano? Let's go. And then that one person's like, all right, I took a couple lessons. And they're trying, like, that's good enough. It's like, all right, I was able to get our starting pitch. You know, on the other hand over here. So theory stuff is good. And the more you use it and apply it, the more it'll stick, you know? Because if you don't use it and you just memorize it for a test, it doesn't stick much. All right, and then interlock your fingers. Now go up on your tippy toes. This is hard. Go up on your tippy toes, hold it for a little bit. Take a couple deep breaths in. And then we're gonna fall over and just hang. Stretch out your hamstrings. Move your knees. Hang there, take a couple deep breaths. When you bend over like this, you really can feel your waistband, your diaphragm expanding when you breathe. All right, take a couple deep breaths in. And then we'll slowly roll up. Take 8 counts to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shake it out, shake it out. All right, we'll just hum a little bit. Get our voices going. We'll first, let's blow out some birthday candles. We blow out birthday candles. I blow out birthday candles here. So watch. The diaphragm. Really, the diaphragm is like an involuntary muscle. It just kind of does it. The purpose of the diaphragm, what it does, is kind of just separates your abdominal wall, like from your bowels and your lungs, is kind of what it is, right? And so what it is, it really doesn't do much except get out of the way when it lowers. And sometimes when we let our stomach out, is what that does is it allows the bottom of the lungs to take up that space and fill up with air. Because air can only go to our lungs. Air doesn't go to our belly, right? Food goes to our belly, right? Air goes to our lungs. But how we get the most air in is by expanding the diaphragm and then allowing the lungs to drop and completely fill. And that's why we also keep our sternum up. You want to feel like you have like a claw or something like pulling up your sternum. Yeah, real tall, like everybody's a superhero, right? I mean, really, right? We're all superheroes, boo, right? So bless you. All right, so if you've ever watched like a baby breathe, or if you're like laying in bed at night, you're breathing diaphragmatically. You're just your stomach is what's doing it. It's like a vacuum down there. It's like when you plop your belly out, it just sucks air in. All right, so put one hand on, like right on your palm, right on your belly button, and then put your hand up like this, and pretend they're birthday candles. All right, and we're gonna aggressively blow up your birthday candles. Just because I want you to feel how you're gonna blow that air out, is you're gonna feel your stomach. Like, watch it, I'll give you an example. So. You see what's happening down there? All right, so get your hand on there good and feel it. All right, blow out birthday candles. Don't hyperventilate, but blow out birthday candles. Be aware, so you don't want your chest going. You don't want your chest doing it, you want it down here. So first do this, take in and draw in a big, good breath of air. Now blow it all out, slowly and controlled. All of it. Keep going, and you're gonna feel like your belly button is gonna go back to your spine to press out all that air. There's always more air than you think. You're like, oh wow, I can keep going. Oh my gosh, there's some more air in there. I'm so skinny, but you know, not gonna air, right? So that, all right, so here, again, birthday candles. Get that hand going. Ready, go. Do you feel that contracting down there? Do you feel it? Good. All right, here we go. Let's just hum. Singer stance. If I was to tell you singer stance, what would you naturally do? Go.
Feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent.
Yep, absolutely. I like to think exactly that. Feet shoulder width apart, knees over your toes, hips over your knees, shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders, right? Nice and tall. You want to feel as if something's pulled, like you're a marionette puppet, pulling your spine up, right? And so you want a good foundation, right? So look, I always do this. So look, if I'm standing like this, watch, push me over. Like, right, like, totally, right? Right, really. But now if I have a base, now I can fight back, right? Do that to each other. Do that to each other. Put your feet totally together, and then you have, right, you have no foundation down there, right? So watch, look. Catch yourself when I push you. But like, see, right now, open up your legs. Now see, boom. See how much stronger now you have some resistance, right? Put your feet together. See how confident you are? Now watch, the same energy, right? See, now I can't do anything with you, right? You want to try it? No! All right. But you kind of get the idea is that you want to have a good, firm foundation down there, right? Knees slightly bent. When I was a little kid, I was singing in choir. No, in elementary school, and all of a sudden I was on the floor bleeding, and my mom was attending to me, and the choir was still singing. Because I fainted, and I landed like, it was an upright piano, and it had like the rollers that roll the piano. I landed my chin right on that thing. It didn't even stop the song. Anyway, that's the hardest thing in that I was just singing a Mozart Requiem a couple weekends ago, and all of a sudden in the middle of the 11th movement, all of a sudden we hear kind of like look over sideways, we see a bunch of ladies kind of huddle around, right, somebody went down. And it's that moment of, what do you do? For the music, for the art, do you keep going? Or for that human being, do you stop and go see what's wrong? You know, so we made it through, so people she got attended to, and then we made it through that movement, and then the conductor turned around to the audience and said, take 2 minutes, use the restroom, we'll be back. Called an ambulance, got her up, but she had her legs locked. Right, so that's what we want. Always a little bit, you know, you want the blood to be able to flow. So your singer stance, right? All right, here we go.
Yeah.
She was all right. She was a part of that. She was a whole gal. All right. Go somewhere on the top. Yeah, music. Crescendo means.
To progressively get louder?
Yeah, to start. I think the best way to describe a crescendo is to start soft.
Yeah.
Start
you have
soft,
to start soft so you have somewhere to go, right? So crescendo, and a good time it's just a general rule of thumb, but when notes ascend, when they go up, da, 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 that's a good chance to just naturally crescendo, and when notes come down, da, 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 it's to kind of come back. Who knows what the opposite of crescendo is?
It's up to my tongue, but
Decrescendo.
what?
Decrescendo.
That's what it's called?
Decrescendo or diminuendo.
See, that's what I was.
Diminuendo, like to dim the lights down, like you know, the diminuendo, you like kind of fade the lights down. Okay. All right. Happy sound. Controls everything with singing, right? And air. But the way that the lips are pointing, that's where your sound is going to go. So if I go do 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 do, the sound is going back, right? If I go do 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 do, trumpet lips. Get your lips out. Okay, so here we go. So this is all. Do you know the word embouchure? Embouchure is the shape of your mouth. Like our mouth can make millions of shapes. Like to do a straw, you have to drink out of a soda can. Right? It's just weird what you have to do, right? So it's changing. So the corners of the mouth control that a lot, right? So you want your corners of your mouth in. Ooh, it's almost like it's fish lips, right? So here we go. Two blue shoes. Buckle those lips, yeah. Two blue shoes. Two blue shoes. Going to the basement. Two blue shoes. That chest register. Blue shoe. That chest resonance, yeah. Two blue shoes. Alright, I'll do the basics. Two blue shoes. One more. Two blue shoes. One more. Two blue shoes. Alright, one more. Now we're going to do I love to sing. I love to sing. And on the love, that's the ah vowel. I love corners in and tall vowel. Alright, we don't want anything spread, we want nice and tall. Here we go. I love to sing. I love to sing. I love to sing. Am I proud of that? I love to sing. 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 Two more. I love to sing. I love to sing. All right, you guys still warmed up?
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
you want to do one more?
You want more?
Yeah.
One more.
We'll do fast. We'll do bumblebee.
Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum. Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum.
Take air.
Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum.
Good. Draw some air.
Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum. Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum.
Crescendo.
Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum.
Yes, go somewhere like that.
Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum. Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum. Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum. Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum.
Last one.
Bumblebee, bumblebee, bum.